welcome back to Collect All Monsters after that super tiny break. After we've been talking for quite a bit. I had a blast talking about King Kong versus Godzilla with you guys. Thank you so much for taking part of that. Thank you to everybody sticking around and watching. And let's talk a little bit about this next segment. Basically, what I thought we would do is take our subject matter for our monster showcase this episode, which is Show Your Shelves. If you can even do the hashtag Show Your Shelves. So we asked everybody to submit that, but before we get to the actual monster showcase, all of the co-hosts here put together some little videos showing off our own collections and showing off what we use to display those collections. And as such, I thought I would start. Who wants to go first?
Well, let's all jump here.
All right.
First in line.
David's first in line. So
why not? Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Here's David's.
Well, hello there, Collect All Monsters, Monster Collectors. David here, and I want to welcome you to my collection room. So the co-hosts and I are going to be doing something a little bit different for this episode. We're all going to be shooting these videos showcasing our collection rooms. Hashtag Show Your Shelves. We will be showing our shelves and talking a little bit about the shelves, and more importantly, what lives on our shelves. But before I show you that, I'm going to answer the 3 questions that we are all going to answer about items in our collection. So let's start with number 1, which is, what is the biggest figure in our collections? And it's definitely this guy right here. Of course, I'm talking about the awesome, gigantic Shin Godzilla. Love the pose, love the stylized sculpt, love the detail. He's massive, and he came in the most massive shipping box that I have ever seen in my entire life. And if I'm being honest, I believe that he had the highest price tag that I've paid for any figure in my collection to date. So awesome figure, stoked to have him. Question number 2 is, show something from your collection that you have a special connection to, that you just really love, and that you don't necessarily show off all the time. So I've narrowed it down to 2, which was really hard because I've got a special connection to quite a few of these pieces. So let's start with this one. This is the mascot / manager from the Osaka branch of Kaiju Sakaba, which is where I spent my 50th birthday with my dear friends, my husband, and Mr. G. Akamoto, which was the very first time that I had the pleasure of meeting him. So it's based on the Marathon Bullmark original figure. This is reproduced by M1 exclusively for Kaiju Sakaba, and he's got the cool little apron on. Great figure, love that I have him, and it reminds me of that really magical evening. And and the second item that I'm going to show you that I have a special connection to is this guy. This is the brown Billiken tin wind-up Showa Godzilla. I think it's a 64, if I'm not mistaken, because there was a blue one that came with a Mothra attached to his tail. But anyway, my husband Keith got me for this on the very first birthday that we were my very first birthday that we were together, and I just love the fact that he went out and tried to find something that he knew I was passionate about. I don't think he knew quite how passionate I was at that time in 1992, but it was kind of the beginning of my collecting journey, and I just love that he got this for me. Great figure, really holds a special place, and I don't show him off very often, so thanks Keith, love him, holds a special place in my collection. And the third and final question is, show something in your collection that's sort of a hidden gem, maybe a little bit quirky or interesting that maybe not everyone in the fandom would understand. So I've definitely got something to show you guys. It's these 3 little guys. They are sushi monsters called Sushira, made by a company called Yamo Mark that make these great quirky little whimsical Japanese characters. And I just love them because, I mean, they're sushi, which I love, they're whimsical figures, which I love, and they're monsters, which I love. So they're definitely hidden gems because they don't even live down here. They live upstairs in the kitchen because they're just so damn cool. So Sushira by Yamo Mark. And that brings us to the end of our questions. So I'm going to take a quick pause, reconfigure things, and give you a quick tour of the collection room and talk a little bit about the shelves. Stay tuned. Okay, on to the tour of the collection room. So you're looking at the shelves that I have the most of in this room. They're from the Container Store, and sadly, they stopped making this particular brand of shelf about 10 years ago. So I apologize for showing you something that you can no longer get. I actually even tried to look up the name of the discontinued shelves, but I was unsuccessful. But they're great. They're easy to assemble. They're very wide, so they accommodate long tails really well. Next, I'm showing you this guy, the Dettolf shelf from IKEA. It's a glass shelf. Very inexpensive and very cool. You can add lights if you like to do that. I don't have too much from IKEA. I also have this shelf here, which is actually a little CD cabinet that I use to house my little gashapons and some treasures from Japan. These little brown faux wooden shelves are also from the Container Store. I think you can still get these, and they're collapsible shelves, and I just find that they're really helpful and great for showcasing smaller figures, and they fit into smaller spaces. So let's do a quick tour of the room. I'm going to make you dizzy now. Hold on. Okay, here we go. So just quickly going to go through and show you the collection room. It's actually a really small room, but I like it because it limits me from going absolutely crazy. And you can see, I'll just kind of scan up and down so you guys can get an idea of what I have. And then here's this is kind of cool. This is some artwork, lobby cards, and there's a vintage Monster Zero foreign poster and some Bob Eggleton artwork. And let's finish off by showing you the Shin Godzilla and where he lives and how big he is in relation to the collection. So thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the tour. Cheers, everyone.
Ryan Mitchell is wondering what size that room is, David.
It's pretty small. I don't know the exact dimensions of it, but this is where we're shooting the episode from too. It's pretty small. It's maybe like
you can fit like 4 people in there.
Yeah. We did a photo shoot when we had some visitors, and there was it was big guys. It was definitely crowded in here, and it's pretty small, and but as I mentioned in the video, it's perfect because I don't want to go crazy, and if I had a bigger space, I would fill it up. I know Kyle is in touch with that emotion because he's got a much bigger space. But let me just talk real quick. In the video, I mentioned Kaiju Sakaba, but I didn't tell you what it is. For those who don't know, it's a Ultraman monster themed sort of izakaya pub in Japan that's really awesome. So, and there's still a couple. The one in Osaka has closed, but it's still around in Tokyo, and there's a few branches in Tokyo that you guys can visit. So I forgot to mention that. And that's about it. Sorry, it was a little boring. I watched. I'm like, snooze.
That wasn't boring, dude. What are you talking about?
I should have been a little more dynamic or thrown a joke in there or something. But I did say Keith got me for. I don't know where that came from. I was like, what? I mean, I guess I didn't edit that video too well. Keith got me for this. It's like, okay, that's not the way to say things. But
I mess up all the time on my videos, David. Don't worry.
English not important. Me no.
But thank you so much for watching, and I've got this is my collection. This is it. So I guess Leslie's might be going next, maybe.
Yeah, we'll just do that. Leslie, you're coming up next here. Let me share your video.
What's going on, Collect All Monsters Collectors? Yes. You know who this is? It's your boy, Leslie P. Chambers, on behalf of Collect All Monsters. Pretty much, I am the problem child of Collect All Monsters. Nah, but seriously, I'm a good guy.
Troublemaker.
Every now and then. Nah, but seriously, in response to our most recent hashtag, Show Your Shelves, myself and my fellow co-hosts on the show are going to give you a little mini tour of our respective collection rooms. And we came up with 3 questions that we're going to answer in response or in regards to the hashtag Show Your Shelves. So without further ado, let's dive here first into the first question. And the first question is, in my collection, what is the biggest piece in my collection? And you know me, ladies and gentlemen, I'm all about the big size figures, the gigantic series, Prime One Studios, whatever. I am into the big stuff. I'm into the bigger size figures. To me, the bigger, the better. And ironically, you would think by me being a huge Godzilla fan that I would have the biggest piece of my collection be a figure of Godzilla himself, but actually it's not. Actually, it's his sister. Yes, the Rose form Biollante. I had her constructed and built by awesome kaiju sculptor extraordinaire Mark Sanggang. She clocks in at 28 inches high, and she is by far the biggest figure I have in my collection. In the sea of giant size figures in my room, where I have the gigantic 89, the gigantic 2019, the gigantic Shin, and all those figures are big, bulky, and massive. But Rose Biollante beats them just by a few inches, and she is currently the biggest figure in my collection. I say currently because in a few months, I think she's going to be toppled by another giant, but more on that later. And the second question is, what is the one piece in my figure collection that I resonate with the most, or I have the deepest connection with the most? And of course, this is going to be no surprise to any of y'all that know me very well. That's the M1 50 centimeter rubber kit of the 1964 Godzilla. I think I've shown it a few times on Collect All Monsters. And to me, that is the best representation of the 64 Godzilla that you will ever find in kaiju collectible form. Now, the kit was made in vinyl form, hard vinyl form, and it was made in rubber. I have the rubber version. So the figure and the way it was painted and all that good stuff, the figure actually transcends from being just a kaiju collectible to an actual prop that could have been used on a movie, because it looks exactly like Godzilla from that film. My most favorite film, Mother vs. Godzilla. So without a shadow of a doubt, even though I love every single piece that I've acquired in my collecting journey, but the one I resonate with the most and have the deepest connection with is the 50 centimeter M1 1964 Godzilla. And the third question is, what is a hidden gem in your collection that a lot of people may not be able to understand or get? And of course, you know me, I love King Kong. I'm a huge King Kong fan. But one film in particular is not universally praised by a lot of folks, and that's the 1976 version of King Kong. And once again, Mark Sang-Yang, you heard his name earlier with Rose Biollante. I'm going to bring him up again because he made me a giant-sized diorama of the 1976 King Kong, and he did an awesome job.
That was great.
And like I said, it's a hidden gem because once again, that film is not universally praised by a lot of people, especially King Kong purists. But to me, I love that film. I love the dark interpretation of the story. I love the actual Kong design. It's one of my most favorite Kong designs. His roar is awesome. So hopefully I can convince y'all with this little mini commentary to go back and watch the film. Of course, I acknowledge and enjoy the original King Kong, but I do believe that the King Kong 76 movie is very underrated and deserves a rewatch. So please check it out. And that's it with the questions that we have formulated with this video here. Now, before I get up out of here, let me give you a few quick shots of my collection room that I have affectionately called the Monster Island Man Cave. And I've been collecting hard with figures for the past, I say, 8 years. I started really hard in 2013. Mostly X+, but I have dabbled in model kits. Like I said, Mark Sang-Yang Customs. I have a Marmot around here somewhere. But I more so go for the more realistic figures, you know what I mean? The more real life stuff, highly detailed, superbly detailed. And I am extremely proud for what I have accomplished, for what I was able to attain, especially coming in late in the game, and I cannot be even more proud to be a kaiju collector. And as you can see here, all these figures that you see is from hard work, because I'm a truck driver, right? So all this stuff that I've accumulated is all the miles and the lows and just the many hours I have clocked in to not only give myself a great life and to my wife and family, but also to accumulate these awesome treasures that you see before you. So that's pretty much it with the Show Your Shelves. And that's the thing, when it comes to my collection room, I actually try to put my pieces together in regards to like film setups, whether it's the 1993 film Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2, or if it's Godzilla vs. Monster Zero, or if it's GMK, or if not, I try to associate one particular monster. If I have multiple versions of the same monster. I try to incorporate them into one setup, whether it's Shin Godzilla or the Heisei Gamma or whatever. So I try to be really precise and put my figures in a certain order. I don't like put my figures in like a miscellaneous type of way or a random way. I try to have some type of structure with my collection, and I think I've done a superbly good job, if I may say so myself. So that's pretty much it with the Show Your Shelves. I hope you had a good time with this little mini tour of the Monster Island Man Cave, courtesy of Leslie Chambers and courtesy of Collect All Monsters. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see y'all again on the next episode. Awesome episode of Collect All Monsters.
Sorry, I cut you off at the end there, man. But yeah, there you go. Awesome, dude.
Thank you.
Leslie, I was curious. Do you seem to have a bunch of different kinds? Are there any of your shelves that you are like, oh yeah, if I found this one again, I would buy another one of these specifically for kaiju displays?
Basically, because I have not gotten my shelf from one particular like maker. You know, I dabbled in Target or Walmart, just stuff that you could build yourself, basically. But actually, I recommend the ones I just got. I'm gonna move out the way so you can see them. But these are Blue Hawk shelves that you can get from Lowe's, and they're like, this one in particular was like maybe $59, you know, and they're easy to assemble. They're easy to assemble. You can assemble them in 10 minutes just like that. And each shelf can hold up up to 200 pounds of weight. And since that one is heavy, got King Ghidorah up there, and he's delicate, you know, whatever. You can put as much weight on the shelf and not come crashing down. I know if you remember seeing my last shelf, if you look real closely, like these two gigantos was like really causing
making it sag.
Top shelf to give way, and I was afraid that I was gonna be on Collect All Monsters and they all come crashing down on top of me. This is why I got these two shelves here, but I highly recommend it. Blue Hawk from Lowe's, $59. You can't go wrong.
Nice.
Awesome. Right on. Just gonna throw this out there, Leslie, just so you know, a whole bunch of 76 love was getting thrown down in the chat.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, 76 is awesome.
I love the 76 Kong. I think
Same
it's great.
here, man.
Yeah.
You know what? That actually, but I mean, all joking aside, I know I am about Kong, and I don't mean it to really like rub salt in the wound, you know, whatever. I just try to have a little bit of friendly competition because of what's going on with the new film. But that really does my heart joy, seeing that love for that particular film. Because that particular film gets automatically dismissed because Kong is not fighting dinosaurs, or doesn't take a more fantasy approach to the story, that they automatically just dismiss it, saying, you know what, it's trash, it's garbage. In fact, some people kind of like the sequel, King Kong Lives, where he knocks up a female ape, but we ain't talking about that right now. We ain't talking about that.
We're not going to talk about King Kong Lives right now.
Yeah.
But like I said in the video, I think 76 is very underrated. It really is. And that film, in my opinion, does something that the original film doesn't really do that well. It focuses on the relationship between Kong and the girl. You get a sense that, you know, Kong cares for the girl, but you know at the very end when Kong gets slayed and massacred, you get the sense that the girl cares for Kong too. Like in the original version, when Kong dies, I don't think what's her name? Anne, I don't think she even cared. I don't think she even cared, but you see the girl in 76 crying and you know, in a way, King Kong is kind of like Godzilla. I mean, they're victims of being in a civilized situation. And, you know, I mean, even though there's a natural rivalry between Kong fans and Godzilla fans, or Kong and Godzilla in general, they do have a little bit in common, that they're both tragic characters. But yeah, I'm glad that y'all are coming aboard on the 76 train. Thank y'all.
When you say that girl, you mean Jessica Lange, my friend.
Yeah.
That was her very, very first movie. And you know, I'm on the other team, but I was digging Jessica Lange, so you gotta say something. That says something right there. It's a great movie, and I think that it's basically American tokusatsu. I mean, Rick Baker in a monster suit for 98%, and that 2% they use that horrific Carlo Romaldi animatronic thing. It's just horrific, and he just kind of does this and kind of, and it's falling apart as it's moving. That's why it was only in like two tiny scenes. But I love the 76 Kong is great. It's really
I love it too.
Yeah, so thank you for the 76 love. Somebody mentioned in the chat, and I forgot to mention this on the last Collector Monsters. I don't think it was announced then, but they are coming out with a proper Blu-ray release of the 76 movie. I want to say in April, and I think if you pre-order it, they give you like this big, nice, giant size poster of the movie. Not the movie poster where he's on top of the World Trade Centers, but an actual like mock-up of the movie. Actually, I think it's the cover on the Blu-ray. We have a picture of Kong's face, the girl on the altar. It's really nice. So if you haven't seen the 76, or if you want to rewatch it, or at least get more access to it, you'll have your chance, I think, come next month. So
right on. All right, John Ruffin, you're next up on my list here.
Next up. Cool. Well, my room is a small room. And it's virtually an IKEA display. When I finished school, my room was full of books, and then I flipped it over to a Godzilla collection room, and I started with painting the room and having these IKEA lac floating wall shelves installed. I had 12 of them. They go for $20 each, and I love them. I mean, they can support the weight of the figures. They look like they're floating, and they're just also I light them up with some IKEA lights as well. Well, then I also have the IKEA Collect shelves. You can stack them up vertically or horizontally. And here's more of the other lac shelves, floating shelves that I have. Now, the biggest item in my collection is the Kyoto Shin Godzilla. It rivals the gigantic X Plus Shin Godzilla. And then I have this Dito glass door cabinet, and on the other side of the room I had these IKEA Billy Oxford book cases with glass doors. I love those. I don't show all my books here. I don't want to give them all away. And then on the other side of my room where I'm sitting now, I have a older IKEA TV cart, and follow with some smaller carts and a carpet too from IKEA. Now the strongest thing in my collection is this actually paper item that was given to me from one of the workers at my favorite Japanese collectible shop that was here in Philly back in 1984 called Rocket Ship Accessories. And they had a 30th anniversary for Godzilla birthday party, and that was the start of my Japanese Godzilla collection, and what started all that I have around me many, many years ago, back in 84. Now, the thing that's in my collection that's really dear to me, that's why you lose it, you wouldn't run right over it, is this copy or replica of the book about the sacred guardian monsters in GMK.
Yes.
That's one of the little gems.
That's awesome.
The strength of my collection is really in my books and my paper products, and I love my X Plus figures and the model kits that I have, and other things that I have, kits that I've never built. But the books, that's where my heart is, in the paper material, which doesn't get to be displayed, but it's stowed away. Simple, but the IKEA made everything. They will outfit your collectible room, and for a pretty good cost as well. Pretty cheap.
True.
And you can turn it over as well. From year to year.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, Christine.
I guess that means we're up to Christine.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm a big fan of IKEA also.
Hey, Christine. I can never find that girl. But usually when I do,
Perfect.
she's right in here.
Hey guys, welcome to my collection room. Just playing with my toys here. So, welcome to Christine's Kaiju Cave. On this episode, we will be talking about our collection rooms and show your shelves. So, let's get to it. All of these shelves that I actually own are from IKEA, so I'm just keeping it simple and easy here. The reason why I like the IKEA shelves is because they look great, they have a lot of space for displaying, and they're cheap, and I love cheap things, just not cheap toys. So let me give you a little tour here. So this is my X Plus section. So these are the Visto shelves. The reason I mainly use these for displaying my X Plus is because
I
they have a
like
nice, clean
Those
look to them, and you can fit about 4 or 5 X Plus figures on each shelf, and it gives them each a little space. You can kind of appreciate all of that. And these are about, I want to say, $70 to $80. Pretty easy to put together. I mean, you can't really go wrong with these. They're cheap and they look great. My favorite shelf that I have in my collection is, again, by IKEA, and this is the D12 shelf. So the best thing about this shelf is it's all enclosed, so you don't have to dust, which is great. Because as you know, when you have a collection, you have a lot of dusting that you have to do. So this I call my Hall of Fame shelf right here. It has all my toy graphs that I hunted down over the years and a lot of my favorite pieces. And onto my last shelf that I have in my collection for right now is the Kalak shelf. The great thing about this shelving unit is it's like very versatile. So you can get anywhere from like 8 to 12 to 16 boxes. This unit I think has 12, 16, 8, I don't know, I can't count. But it's pretty cheap. I think this one was like $60. No, this one was $120. But the 8 box is about $60. So you can fit a lot of figures in each of these boxes here. Sometimes I like to make little scenes, so I have my SH Monster, it's little scenes all set up around here, and then I just have some random Safubi around the area. And this one is actually really, really super easy to put together. The other 2 shelves I had, my boyfriend helped me put together, but this one I was able to do it myself. It has a lot of great display on the top, and another great thing about this is if you get the shorter version, the 8 box, you can lay it on its side lengthwise, which is what my plan is later on, because I want to put one over there. So on to the questions. So first question we had was, what is the biggest figure in your collection? It was a pretty close tie between 2, but the winner has got to go to this guy right here. This is the Toy Vault Supersized Godzilla. He came out in 2007. He's very floppy. He is my movie watching buddy. So whenever I watch Godzilla movies, I usually have him on the couch with me. He's 20 inches tall and about 30 inches long, so he is huge. The contender for number 2 was my favorite figure in my collection, the X Plus Gigantic 1989 Godzilla by Ogoji. My favorite suit, favorite movie. Love this thing. He's just a tad bit shorter than my supersized plush here. Second question is, what is a item in your collection that you have a strong connection to? So that one has got to go to this guy right here, the 30 centimeter X Plus 1954 Godzilla. So this I had signed by Nakajima and Takarada. It was the first time I was able to meet them. It was Anime Boston 2014. I went with a whole bunch of my friends. It was amazing. And so Nakajima signed the bottom here. And then Takarada did something really cool. On the chest here, this symbol says Taka, which means treasure, and Taka is also part of his name, Takarada. So I thought that was really cool. So this has a lot of great memories for me with my friends, and I still remember the feeling of seeing Nakajima and Takarada for the first time. It was amazing. And the last question we had is, what is a hidden gem in your collection? So that one was really hard because I have a lot of like hidden gems. I think I like to find a lot of random stuff, but it's got to go to this guy right here, the Bandai Godzilla drink pourer. So this was made in 2002 by Bandai. And say you're thirsty, you want a little drink? Normally you would have like a soda can or something in here, and the stuff would come out of Godzilla's mouth, which I think is so cool, but how cute is that?
That's adorable.
So I hope you enjoyed this edition. Thanks for watching, guys.
Nice.
All right. Great job, Christine.
I got a question. You have your 89 gigantic and your 95 on the floor?
Yeah. I know. I just thought I was gonna say something about that. I'm gonna get in that other Kalak shelf I was telling you about. I'm gonna put it next to the wall over here, and all my gigantics are going on the top. I got no room for these guys. They're huge.
I mean,
Christine, that
the only
totally
place they
works.
can fit is on the floor.
Because that back there, that is a Calyx.
Oh, really?
2x4 back there. So yeah,
That's what
it
I
works for
wanna
the
get.
Gigantics for sure.
I mean, but I mean, but that's like putting. I mean, that's like putting a screen door in a submarine. It just doesn't seem right.
Okay, whatever. They don't have a space yet. They're
You're
too dang
feisty
big.
today. Feisty.
Too dang big.
Feisty.
Oh
I
man.
do need to get a table from Cody. I do want Cody that makes those beautiful wooden display tables.
Yeah,
I
beautiful.
do want to get something from him to display, maybe for my reviews once I start doing reviews again, because I've been slacking like terrible.
Excellent.
All right. I guess I'm up.
Yes.
Yes.
Can we just check
And
it out?
I would like to just tell the viewers out there how much I appreciate them, because this collection is a bitch to dust. And I cleaned and dusted this collection for you. That's how much I love you guys. Also, I mean, it's totally an incentive for me to be able to show off my collection instead of just telling people I don't want to film it here. So let's go ahead and check that out. I'm psyched for you guys to see it. Oh my gosh. Welcome to the Kaiju Cast collection. It's been a long time since I've done a video showing off what I've got here, and I can't wait. I'm stoked to have you guys come in. All right, so the whole thing about this episode is shelving units. So obviously, welcome. You'll see we've got Calyx and Detolf shelf units here. This is all basically collection by IKEA, or IKEA if you're in Japan. Yeah, I basically got some of the biggest units to house all of the collectibles here in the entire room. The great thing about the Calyx shelves is that they are very configurable. You can get big ones, small ones, and they all look really good right next to each other. The other thing I'll show you guys is recently I upgraded my glow shelf. Here it is here.
That's excellent.
Awesome.
Ooh.
Turn the light off there for a little bit of magic.
Nice.
But this shelf used to be a Calyx, but it was only this long, this wide. They don't make a 3x2, so I found something very similar at Target. So I used that for my glow shelves. I got another little Calyx unit over here. And then, of course, back behind me, that's where we watch the movies. One of the best parts about this room.
Awesome.
It's where the magic happens.
Now let's get to those questions. So, answering some of the questions we had.
Oh my God, it's
Number
huge.
one is, what is the biggest item in your collection? And that has to be this guy here. The Bandai, oh my gosh, I want to say Large Monster Series. Somebody will correct me in the comments. But this guy came out in 1989, and this is the second version of it that I've had. I sold one, finally got it back. This is my biggest guy, but yeah, really, I can only put the big guys here on this shelving unit here. And then the second question was, what is an item that has a strong connection, that you have a strong connection to? And that is a two-parter. Number one of my travel group guys, Scott, bought me this little Buska. And we all know Buska loves ramen. Ramen brought to you by David and Keith.
Yay.
They got this for me in Kapabashi, the street where people make all the fake food in Japan, as a thank you for organizing our last trip. The third question, which basically hidden gems. There's all sorts of hidden gems in this collection. I could say, look at this kappa from Josenkai, where he's got like a little onsen bath around him.
It's cute.
But that's not the one that
Literally a hidden gem hidden in my shelving
That's
connection.
right.
This is an actual can from Japan. If you're familiar with the Godzilla series, you may have seen the Byerly's logo.
Byerly's.
That was in
throughout the,
Godzilla vs.
Showa
Kong,
era.
wasn't it?
And I was super happy
Billboard
to
or something?
find this in a vending machine and be able to get a can and drink it. It's good. And bring it back with me. I mean, a lot of hidden gems in this collection, but here's the cubby that I would say probably is the best hidden gem. And this is all of my yokai stuff. There's a couple of other pieces around here that are not in this cubby, but I've got everything from candy Boltons, little guys here, to an actual Metsuki carved from mammoth bone, to a Tanuki figure, the little Yokai Daisenso guys. This is a really old Nito figure. There's a lot of fun stuff here in my yokai collection. Those are my hidden gems. And Roxy wants to eat this, and she can't. Well, there you have it, guys. The collection room, at least for right now. I'll show you more later. But if you don't mind, I'm going to get back to the important movie watching before Godzilla vs. Kong at the end of this month. That would be King Kong vs. Godzilla.
Oh yeah.
Excellent.
Awesome.
That was great.
Boy.
So,
Oh, thank you
Christine,
very much. Thank you very much.
Byerly's is in many of the Showa Toho movies. Mothra, first and foremost, because he knocks over a Byerly's line, the larva, King Kong versus Godzilla. Godzilla versus Mothra versus Godzilla. He's eating the egg in a big Byerly's kind of like booth kind of thing. So Byerly's is the beverage of Showa Toho movies.
That's right.
Yeah, a lot of placement.
Having that can is pretty. I should have bought one too. Keith and I saw a Byerly's vending machine on the old Nakasendo Road Trail.
Oh, did they have the bottles or cans? Because the bottle is what I wanted to take. Oh.
They had the cans, but I tried. The machine was broken. I don't think anybody used it since the '60s. But it was cool. But yes, Byerly's that whole can thing. I don't believe I didn't pick one up all the times I've been there. So anyway, very cool.
Same here.
Well, when I finally upgrade to a glass bottle, I'll just send you my can.
Excellent.
Someone Liam Foley asked how big is that screen, and I can tell you that screen is 6 feet tall and 10 feet wide. And when I'm sitting in the easy chairs, which I was sitting in at the very end, it is like I'm in a movie theater. I mean, the screen pretty much goes, like, my field of vision is wider than the screen, but it's big. And, like, I could always scoop my chairs forward if I really wanted to fill my entire vision. But that is why I'm actually stoked to have access to HBO Max and be able to watch King Kong versus Godzilla at the end of this month. So, from the comfort of my own HQ.
Yes.
Yes. Well, thank you guys all for helping out with that segment. I really, really loved seeing what you guys have for your shelves. David, I already knew, of course, what you had, but like everybody else, for sure. Like, it really, really cool to see what you had. I will say there certainly was a lot of IKEA in there, wasn't there? And I think the reason for that is that IKEA just does a fantastic job of display cabinets, and honestly,
affordable.
I will say that even as far back like before I was even a collector, IKEA shelving units. My boss at one of my jobs had a Detolf, and I was like, dude, that's amazing. Must have been like hundreds and hundreds of dollars, right? Nope, $60. $60, and so. When I moved into this house and I was like, yes, time for me to get some display units, I went to IKEA and I dropped a whole lot of money. Because I mean, this is only one room in my house. There's a lot of rooms brought to you by IKEA in this house. In addition to the Detolf, I just will really quickly also share the Kallax that John and Christine and I have. They have many units. This is, I think, their largest one, which looks like 5x5. The benefit of this unit, which you could probably tell from our videos, is that these cubby units can actually fit either a bunch of small stuff or like usually one larger figure, and so having them spaced out in a room nicely, I think, looks amazing. And I didn't even think people made cubby like shelves when I was growing up. You know, cubbies were only for kindergarten.
Right. Exactly. They would have been.
Anyway, highly suggested for that stuff. I know I've seen a ton of amazing shelving units being produced from other companies as well. And then even when you get into like some of the X Plus collectors in the X Plus group, some people that have the skills to make their own shelving units. Some of that stuff is amazing.
Yeah. Kyle.
Go ahead.
What's up,
I
man?
was just going to, piece of trivia. Do you know where the first IKEA in America showed up? When the first
I don't know. Or was it Philly?
Can I guess? Philadelphia.
Well, right outside of Philadelphia, Plymouth Meeting.
Yep.
Nice.
Yes.
I think I knew that because I was still on the East Coast at that point.
Yeah.
This whole segment really inspired me because I'm looking now and I'm like, wait a minute, I can probably fit one more Detolf shelf in here. So that would be
Oh,
a
you
good thing.
can.
Because the problem that I'm having for my collection is I don't think it's displayed well enough so you can see, because I have like layers of things going on. So it's really hard to focus on.
Your collection is dense.
Yeah,
It's dense.
but it looks so nice. You have it displayed so nicely.
It's rich and it's dense, but some of the stuff back there is not getting any love right now. So I gotta do like a switcheroo every now and again. But that's why you guys, all of you, Leslie's just kind of like mine, kind of dense. We have a lot of stuff on the shelves, but and John too. But the two of you guys have.
I'm out of control.
Yeah, I mean, it's the way that you can see and focus on individual pieces is really appealing to me at this point. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
I don't know.
no, and no gigantics on the floor either. So.
Oh, whatever.
Terrible.
Hey, listen, I just moved,
I've got a
right?
gigantic
I
on the
haven't
floor.
used-
I've got my gigantic shin. He's on a table, but he's on the floor because he's not going to fit up there, man. He ain't going to fit up there.
Yeah, where am I supposed to put this guy? I have no room.
In the garbage.
And I just moved,
My
so.
dream-
On your new Calax shelf that you're gonna get.
Too. Yeah, I know,
Oh my
right?
gosh.
See, I'm getting one.
Leslie. Full of sass, Leslie.
It was
I'm gonna come steal your rose by latte.
it was a great segment, and I enjoyed. We didn't really share our videos beforehand. Well, I didn't see anybody's. Did see Kyle's, but I didn't see the other guys. So bravo, everyone! Really great stuff.
Yeah, it was fun.
And I would love, be honest with you, I really want my little collector room to look like a Japanese toy shop.
Oh,
I would love it to just be overflowing.
Lola's
It'd be a fire hazard, but like where everywhere you just put your hand somewhere and you come out with something special.
John, are you
hoarders,
going to stand
toy
outside the
hoarders.
door of your collection and say, "I'm sorry, you're going to need to take your bag off, sir. You're not going to fit in this room."
Exactly. I in those little Kallax, whatever you call them, shelves, I have little drawers, made of fabric, and it's just stuff just jammed all in. I mean, that you can't display, but just, I like to be surprised when I look through my stuff. Oh, I forgot all about this,
Yes. Yes, and here's something funny. Now, since I only had one item to show for my show it and tell, I got this is kind of funny. While I was dusting, just like Kyle, I love you guys too. I did a lot of dusting, and I even cleaned out the closet. That's the next segment. Show your closet, because my closet is full. Whoa! But anyway, I found this, which I hadn't had in years. This is a cast.
Oh, so cool.
Godzilla versus the Sea Monster. Ibira.
Oh my god, that's awesome!
I forgot that I even had this, and his claw was off, but it came off, and I just had to put it right back on. But
that's so cool.
So it's kind of like getting a new figure in preparing for these videos. So I'm going to add this to just so I don't have this one thing. So here you go. Show it and tell. Here too.
Show it and tell. Continued.
Yeah, very Showa.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the show your shelves segment isn't complete until we actually show all of the stuff that our wonderful watchers, our audience, viewership actually sent in, and that was our hashtag for this month, show your shelves. And so without further ado, let's roll that beautiful shelf footage. right, you guys.
That was awesome.
Amazing.
Lots of great
Thank you
stuff.
guys all so much.
Thank you.
Seriously, our audience, you guys are the best. And
Great
David, I
photos.
think you said this was probably our most successful
Oh my God.
hashtag so far, right?
Oh my God. So successful. And thank you all for so many awesome photos. Kyle and I had to cut it down. We had to curate because some of you guys were sending like 7 or 8 photos and they're all great. So it was really hard. It took me days to figure out which ones to show on the show because we narrowed it down to doing it 3 at the most 3 per person. And man, you guys really outdid yourselves. I've never seen anything like it. And thank you. We loved seeing it. They're all inspirational, and it doesn't matter how big or how small your collection is. They're all awesome. And,
Great displays.
Great displays. I'm glad we all came up with that hashtag. And again, it was awesome. And we are going to pick our favorite, not the biggest, not the flashiest, but we're going to pick the collection photo that we all respond to. And you are going to get a Collect All Monsters mascot mug, which is in this box. I'm not going to open it up because it's packed nicely. And I may open it up and stick a little something extra in there. But for now, I'm not going to open it up. So we will be announcing the winner tomorrow morning when I get up on our Collect All Monsters Monster Collector Facebook group. So stay tuned for that. Check it out. And again, thank you so much for all of your hard work and inspiration for these amazing photos.
Now, if you're wondering if you saw what it was, if you're wondering what the deal is with our next hashtag, of course, at the end of this month, pretty much everybody's going to be watching Godzilla versus Kong. At least once, I would assume. But we want to see your take on Godzilla versus Kong, but in toy form. And that means that our hashtag is Big Lizard versus Big Monkey. And what we want to see is, there you go. Yeah, we want to see any Kong versus any Godzilla.
There we go.
Have fun with it. Show us the 76 versus the 62, or the
This is more like it, Leslie.
21 versus the 62. There you go, Christine.
I mean, you can
Tiny guy.
even do Gorosaurus versus, I don't know, Mighty Joe Young. I mean, anything. Big Lizard versus Big Monkey. So I think it'd be cool to see like the 76 Kong versus the 84 Godzilla. That would be kind of cool. You have to
Mashups.
play around with scale a little bit. Have fun with it. Be whimsical. Be cheeky, like Leslie Chambers. You know, and have a lot of fun with it because we'll all shoot some examples for you guys to see over the next week or so. But yeah, we thought that would be very appropriate in accordance with the film coming out in a couple of weeks and our chat today about the original 62. So. Have at it.
Have at it. Have fun with it. Have a creative, fun time putting something cool together. Show off your good stuff, man. That's what I would say.
I can't wait to see what you guys got for us.
And enjoy the movie, right? Like I think even though we are having fun with each other by taking sides and joking around, not all of us maybe are having fun. No, we're all having a blast. And we just all hope everybody has a fun time watching the film and a fun time talking about the film and a fun time collecting the items from this film.
Oh, yes.
So
That's right.
I don't think there's
toys.
anything else we really need to do. I want to thank everybody once again for watching live. We're down to 55 people now watching live on YouTube and Facebook. You guys have been awesome. There have been a ton of people in the chat room. You guys have kept the chat room alive, been paying attention to us, which is awesome, and been talking about kaiju collectibles and the kaiju fandom, and I just love it so much. We all love it so much, and I think this is time for us to finally wrap up episode 14. Everybody ready to do their outro bits?
Of course.
All right, take it away, David.
Hey, let's keep this collecting conversation going. So please join us in our Facebook group and connect with other kaiju collectors. Yes, you too can be a Collect All Monsters monster collector. Leslie.
And thank you for watching the show today. And please hit that subscribe button. Please subscribe and please hit that like button. if you enjoyed watching the show today. And also, Kong won, and he will win again. That's all I got to say about that.
That's not part of your speech.
Dream, hallucination.
No, no embellishing. No embellishing. No.
Not allowed. If you're not catching this episode live, let us know in the comments if you like what you saw or have any questions from today's episode.
And don't keep us a secret. If you like the show, please share us with your friends and family so we can all enjoy Collectible Monsters together.
All right. Dearest viewers, until next time, our planet may be doomed, our Earth devastated, the monsters are in revolt, and civilization is in chaos. We must unite and collect all monsters! Have a great night, everybody.